Hello everyone, this is Hao from UI TV. Today I am going to show you a powerful feature in UI Engine called Remote Asset Catalog. As the name suggests, Remote Asset Catalog is a class interface with assets that is hosted remotely. By assets here we refer to the exports from After Effects, the layouts and the timelines. In this short video, I will walk through 3 steps. Remote asset preparation, native module implementation. This is where we bridge the Rn code with C++. And finally, application code in JSX. To host After Effects exports, we need to prepare them first. Fortunately, UI Engine already comes with a tool that does this for you. Navigate to your engine installation directory. Pick your version. In Tools, Workflow, you will find a generate manifest.rb file. This is the script that we will use to prepare the After Effects export. I have a test file called testae.aep. Assuming you have exported all the compositions using UI Engine's plugin, let's run /generate_manifest.rb-b. Then this is the directory containing both assets and the AP file. In this case, it's my test.1. You'll see newly created manifest folder, remote manifest, and there's assets again. This is the same binary assets from assets folder minus all the log files. And the new file being created called remote manifest.json. This is a JSON file that contains information describing what's actually in this asset folder. You can take a quick look. This file describes what's in the asset folder. You can see the image file here, timelines and layout. CYIRemoteAssetCatalog use this file to download a list of assets. Now the preparation is complete. You can host asset and remote manifest.json file on a file server or any CMS backend. To use C++ API in React Native project, we need to create a native module, the glue layer that connects JavaScript and C++ implementation. I will not go into the details of how to create native module. It is covered in another blog post. Here, I have a native remote asset module. It has 2 methods, fetch and get remote asset catalog paths. The fetch function uses C++ API to download required AE asset. It requires a URL to the remote manifest.json and a list of assets to download. You can choose to download only a subset of layout that's been hosted. We also make sure to connect our signals to appropriate callbacks. Next, get remote asset catalog path function will use C++ API to obtain a relative URL for a particular asset. This URL can be used when loading compositions on the screen. One important note here is that the assets are downloaded, decoded, and stored in the internal asset manager. It does not have an actual copy of the file on the target device. Therefore, this special URL, the relative URL, is used to find the actual asset from the internal asset manager. Native module needs to be imported from React Native. This native module contains the registered C++ implementation. In the previous section, we have defined our native module with the export name remote assets. This is the same name we use in here. In this example, we will start remote asset download in component did mount. First, it uses remote manifest URL, that is the URL to the remote manifest.json file, and a list of layout file. Please note that you do not need to specify any timeline file here. The CYIRemoteAssetCatalog can find the correct dependencies using the decoded layout file and remote manifest.json. Then, upon successful download, we obtain the relative URL to this main composition. We set the path as remote source and set the ready to true. In the render function, once the state is ready, we can use the composition name here, source equals to this.state.remote source, as if we're using a After Effects exports that is included in the application package. Here, I have in timeline played once the composition is loaded. Once the app is loaded and composition is loaded, you can see the in timeline's been played. If you change our layout file, now we can see a different graphics being presented on screen with in timeline played. Using this feature, developer can inject dynamic user experience on the application without rebuilding and redeploying the application. There are a few interesting use cases such as advertisement, interactive moments, and A/B testing. At UI, we are actively working on improving the You.i Engine One product. I am currently working on a better way to support remote asset functionality and make it available to React Native developer with ease. Please stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.